Wentz Financial Group presents Zips Basketball Weekly with John Groce. Investment management for your lifetime. Brought to you by Akron Children's Hospital and Bryant Heating and Cooling. And now your host, Joe Dunn.
Hello again, everyone, and welcome to a brand new edition of Zips Basketball Weekly. Joe Dunn, along with head coach John Groce, and boy, do we have a lot of good things to talk about today. The Zips riding a 6-game winning streak. We're 8-3 overall, 1-0 in the Mid-American Conference after a great win over Buffalo Saturday afternoon. And Coach, you're going good right now. You got to be happy.
Yeah, we're getting better. Yeah. Obviously, we've made a lot of changes coming out of Florida. You know, that tournament was great for us. Yeah. You know. Always embrace the struggle, right? It gives you a chance to get better and to grow. We went 1-2 down there, and I thought played well about a game and a half of those 3 games. But what it taught us, I think, coming out of it with a week off after that is, hey, we may have to play a little bit differently offensively. We may have to tweak some rotations. It exposed us a little bit in some areas, so we're very thankful for that, and I think it's really helped us. You know, obviously here the last couple games, it's the best we've played all year.
That's what I was going to say, Coach. The last 2 games, the big win down at Wright State, had about a 16 or 17-day pause, I guess.
Yeah.
And then you come back Saturday, played really well against Buffalo.
Yeah, I think, you know, obviously this win against Buffalo, I told the guys after the game, was one of the best ones we've had during our 5-year tenure. Just because of the circumstances. You know, we're down a starter. Garvin Clark sprains his ankle after a terrific first half. Yeah. So now he's out the second half. We had guys coming back off protocol. We hadn't played a game in a long time. And I thought our guys really fought through. The first half, you could tell from a cardio perspective, trying to get to that second, third win that they always talk about was a little bit of a challenge. And we were a little bit rusty with some of our timing. Some of our turnovers were a little sloppy. But the guys, just the toughness they showed mentally and physically, the way we played in the second half, the way the guys came together, you know, just really proud of them.
Yeah, Coach, a little bit later in the program, we're going to talk about upcoming games with Ohio and Miami. But, Coach, you wake up every morning not knowing who you're going to play, when you're going to play. It's got to be tough right now.
Yeah, no, it's taking it to another level when I tell them, hey, one of the keys to success in conference play is your ability to adapt and adjust. Yeah. From game plan to game plan, game to game.
Sure.
Opponents change. They're coming at you pretty quickly. Then you're playing a team a second time, and you might have played something a certain way in the first game you played them, but you might change that for the second game. Or sometimes you play, as you know, Joe, in Mid-American Conference Tournament, you might see a team for the third time.
That's right.
And now that you got to change it again. This is another level, right? Because, you know, for example, with the Buffalo situation, we didn't find out we were playing them till Wednesday afternoon. You know, so all of a sudden now and the staff did such a great job, and our players were really mature. We've got some veterans that have been around some winning, and they know how important that is, the mental aspect to the preparation for a game. And so they've done a great job of leading the way for us.
As we said, the Zips with a 6-game winning streak. Right now, let's go back and take a look at some of the games. Some of the highlights is why they got to that 6-game winning streak. Let's go back to December 12th, Coach. Florida A&M comes in. Good basketball team. They had a couple really good players.
No question about it. Their 3-man Randolph, I mean, he can play about anywhere. Terrific player. Was a great challenge for us. Their athleticism and length, I thought, bothered us at times. They played really hard. Reminded me of Southern. You know, that we had very similar styles. They're from the same league. And, you know, obviously Southerners went to Rupp Arena and played Kentucky very competitive, and then went over to Kent and beat Kent.
Yeah.
So, you know, we had great respect for them going into the game. They fly around. But our guys, I thought, really continued to grow and improve, especially on the offensive end. Our execution on that end of the floor was terrific in the Florida A&M game. Our defense in the first half was really good, and in the second half, we weren't as good defensively. That's why the game got a little tight there late. We didn't close it the way we needed to close it. Since then, Wright State and Buffalo have taken place, and we've really improved in those areas.
Yeah, we saw Xavier Castaneda hit a couple early three-pointers, Coach, to get you off to a good start. You had your biggest lead of the game really in the first half at 13 points, 24-11. And one thing I noticed, you changed defenses a lot in that game, trying to change pace a little bit.
Yeah, we were trying to contain the dribble. We were struggling to do that. They're great at decking the ball and getting into the paint. Tried to keep them out of rhythm with the changing defenses. And we were better at it in the first half. You mentioned that. You can see how tight the score gets here. Give Florida A&M credit for continuing to battle and play. And I just thought defensively, first half we were good. Second half we really struggled to maintain our focus and our execution of our details on that end of the floor.
Yeah, the Rattlers kind of hung around, Coach, most of that second half. It got a little bit scary because I think it was 68-63. We're going to see that with about 1:18 left. You get down to that close a game, even though you're playing at home, a lot of crazy things can happen.
Oh, for sure. You see it across college basketball.
Yeah.
We were talking about some of the games on off the air, right,
Sure.
Joe, before we started the show today, that just sometimes on paper may not make sense, but these games aren't played on paper.
You're right.
You know, you got to play the game, and it's a 40-minute game and sometimes more, and you got to try to win possessions. You know, play the game that's in front of you.
Yeah, the Zips won that game over Florida A&M 73-66. Then you go down to Wright State, who traditionally, Coach, one of the better teams in the Horizon League. And, boy, I thought you dominated that game. They really never made a big run on you.
Yeah, we played really well, both ends of the floor. It was the best game at that juncture that we had played all season, I thought, offensively and defensively. Holding them to 48 points. And to put that in perspective, you know, they then win their next game against Tennessee Tech. Then they go to Raleigh and play North Carolina State from the ACC and beat them 84-70 and score 84 points. And now they've won a couple league games to start league play in the Horizon League. So they're on a 4-game win streak right now and rolling. And you're right, they're really good. They're really well coached. And typically, when you look over the last 4 or 5 years, have been the best team from a win percentage standpoint in the Horizon League. So great win for our guys. Really proud of the way that they played at both ends of the floor.
Castaneda hit a couple shots late in the shot clock, Coach. I think that happened early in the game, beat the shot clock twice. And then, boy, I'll tell you, had some long-range jumpers. Brian Trimble really shot the ball well in the first half.
He sure did. Obviously, he and X can both really shoot it. Both those guys are capable, if they take good shots, of being 40% three-point shooters in a season. And obviously, that's a pretty special number. That's an elite number. So, and we needed them. Here you see Mike Wynn making the three there against Wright State. We'll get to Buffalo here in a second. I thought Winnie was unbelievable in the Buffalo game at both ends of the floor. So, you know, we're getting better. Individuals are getting better. Guys are understanding their role better. Our connections better, both offensively and defensively from a chemistry standpoint, and certainly tracking in the right way as long as we can stay healthy, Joe.
Yeah, we saw the Akron lead up to 12 points at halftime. It was 35-23. Then you keep increasing that lead, Coach, in the second half. It got up to 19 points, I think, in the second half at one time.
Yeah, it's what we were talking about in the Florida A&M game. And to be quite frank, not only Florida A&M, Joe, but almost every game previous to that, our second halves weren't as good as our first halves defensively in particular. And all of a sudden, we finally learned, I thought, and really put it together and took on the challenge. And we were just as good in the second half at Wright State as we were in the first half, both offensively and defensively. Thought we played a fairly complete game.
Again, Coach, you showed Wright State a lot of different defenses. I think he went full court zone, half court, trap, did everything to them, and they really never adjusted to it.
Yeah, we're playing more of changing defenses this year than we have the first 4 years. I think our team with its size and length is able to do some things that allow us to be a little more versatile on that end. And then we're grinding you right now. We're different, right? I mean, that's the thing that we learned, I think, coming out of Florida. You know, obviously Christian Jackson was coming off of as many pick and rolls as any player in America the last 3 years. You know, we're different. We're going inside. We're playing through our 3, 4s, and 5s more. And those guys are doing a great job. And our players have really bought into that change.
Had 3 players in double figures in the win over Wright State. Ali had 19, Trimble with 15, Castaneda with 14. And he's really coming on right now, Coach, really playing well at the point for you.
Yeah, getting very comfortable, right? New team. And I thought about this last night, and I've said this before. You know, Brian Trimble's really the only guy who has the same role he had last year.
Yeah, good point.
Okay, everybody else is either a newcomer or we're asking them their role to be different, or we're giving them more than what they've had in the past and expecting more out of them in terms of their role and how they add value. So it's taken us a little bit of time to develop that chemistry, which is normal. but I like where we're headed.
We're going to take a break, come back, and watch highlights from the Buffalo game as the Zips come from 14 points down in the first half to win that conference opener over the Bulls. We're coming right back after this timeout.
The difference with Wentz Financial Group is that we did not have a cookie-cutter answer to any of our clients' needs. Every day is completely different in the market, and every client situation is unique. We value the opportunity and responsibility to manage the hopes and dreams of our 3,000 customers nationwide.
Come see the difference Wentz Financial Group can make for your financial future. Wentz Financial Group. Investment management for your lifetime.
This is my back before surgery, and then this was it after. These things are in my back right now, helping keep it straight so I get to go back to dance with my friends.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good to see you, Chloe. From my perspective, there is nothing that I wouldn't let you do. Really, all the credit for how well you're doing is just you and how hard you've worked to get back to where you are. I'm really proud of you.
Thank you.
Okay, welcome back to Zips Basketball Weekly. If you weren't at that game Saturday afternoon against Buffalo, you missed a classic. As we said, the Zips were down by 14 points in the first half, Coach, and you come back with a tremendous second half. You cut it down, I think, 4 at the half. You really had to be pleased looking back at that one.
Yeah, just a bunch of tough dudes, scrapping, fighting, clawing, coming off the pause. Just really proud of the guys, the way they came together in the game. I thought, you're right, Joe. You think about it. We're down 14. We talked about this, of course, on the radio after the game. I thought the key juncture in the game, and you brought it up, was the last 4 minutes of the first half. It took it from 14 to 4. Now it's game on. Right. And we went from a 14-point deficit to ultimately the largest lead for us was 18.
You're right.
It's a 32-point turnaround, and so we played really well to end the first half. And obviously for most of the entirety of the second half, thought we played some really good basketball.
Of course, Brian Trimble was out of the lineup. Somebody had to step up offensively, and that guy was Ali. Tremendous game on Saturday.
Yeah, he was terrific. Looked like an all-league, all-conference player, right? He's really growing and developing, and it's interesting, talking to our director of athletics after the game. I mean, Ali's a sophomore, Enrique's a sophomore. Aziz didn't have one of his better games. He's been better. He struggled yesterday, but he was coming off, a long pause. And so he'll be better, but he's a freshman. We got some young dudes, man. Greg's a sophomore, Garvin's a freshman.
Yeah.
So we got to continue to build, get them better, get our team better.
Of course, you got 2 young men sitting over on the bench, you're redshirting. I know you're excited about those 2 guys also.
Kobe and Nate, who'll be freshmen next year. So it's we've got a chance, I think, to continue to build upon what we what came to do and started back in 2017.
Coach, you talk about how crazy this basketball season is. I was thinking about that after the game on Saturday. You've got Ali with 32 points, Enrique Freeman playing well. One guy had 1 Division I scholarship. The other kid's a walk-on. That's how crazy it is right now.
No, it's crazy, right? That's why you got to trust your own eyes, Joe. And we believe in those guys. I think it's gotten to the point now where they're starting to believe, which is pretty cool. I've been obviously in their ear the last year to 2 about what we thought they could be from a potential standpoint. And, you asked me last night, did we see Ali doing something like he did last night? We did, and then I said, but I didn't think by his sophomore, but then I keep reminding myself he's really a third-year guy.
Sure.
Because of he's really a super sophomore because of the COVID, factor. So it's, it's interesting. Those guys are really hard workers. Our staff's done a good job with them. Dustin has our front court, Robbie has the wings, and Rob has the guards, and they're in charge of those groups from a player development and personal development standpoint. Those guys have really grown, so I got to give our staff certainly a lot of credit. Our GAs do a great job as well with them. So there's it takes a village. We got a lot of people involved. That's what we're here for. We hope that each guy that comes here transforms as a person, student, and player while they're here. Certainly these 2 guys in particular that we're talking about, Ali and Enrique, have done that.
Well, a big 12-point win for the Zips to win their first conference game. We're going to take a break, come back. We'll have our Players of the Week right after this timeout.
It takes attention to detail. With your local Bryant dealer, you're getting more than just a technician. You're getting someone who pays attention to your needs and the little things that make a big difference. It takes a dealer you can rely on. And to keep your family warm this winter,
here, let me show you how this works.
it takes Bryant.
Bryant, whatever it takes.
And to keep your family comfortable, it takes E.H. Roberts Heating and Cooling. Find them at ehroberts.com.
What we make right here at the University of Akron
holds up under pressure.
What we make climbs the ladder and leads to record highs.
What we make lifts us all
and makes us all better.
With everything we make, everyone rises.
Okay, one of my favorite times of the show, we announce our Players of the Week. How about our Player of the Month? And it's Ali. Why is he Player of the Month? Listen to this. 6'8" sophomore from Kendallville, Indiana. He averaged 25.5 points in the past 2 games with a high of 32 against Buffalo in that conference opener. He's going to the free throw line, coached 25 times in the last 2 games, making 19 of them. Also hit 4 of 7 3-pointers to go along with 4 assists. No doubt he's our Player of the Month.
Yeah, he's been a monster. I mean, and I mean that certainly in a great way, but he's just been really good. And here's the thing, obviously, we're going to show, like you see on SportsCenter, I tell the players all the time, Joe, you only see offensive highlights primarily, right?
Yeah.
But he's as good defensively as he is at on the offensive end. He's one of our highest graded out players almost every game. Really knows scouting, extremely intelligent. During the Buffalo game, he gave me a couple ideas during the game that he saw. I went with both of them, and both of them worked out, and they were offensively. And I said to him, man, I may let you put the play sheet together for the next game. So, he's really bright, has a bright future, I think not only here but beyond. So excited to see him grow and develop the way that we thought that he would. He's put in a lot of work, as we talked about earlier.
Yeah, he made a comment to me after the game, Coach. He said, Coach Groce keeps telling me how good I am. He doesn't lack confidence, but he's believing a little bit now each game how good he can be.
Yeah, no question about it. That's what I've mentioned earlier, and I think Rike the same way.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of really good walk-ons over the years that have meant so much to us, that have added just tremendous value. But I met with Rike and I told him that. I said, but Enrique, you're a little different. So you've got to start thinking that way, eating that way, sleeping that way, dressing that way, acting that way.
Yeah.
You got to believe that, Belief's so important. Tom Brady talks about that a lot, and I think he's right, So I think those two have gotten to the point now. And what ends up happening is you can get some confidence, Joe, from how you play in practice. You can.
Sure.
You can develop your habits there and all that. But the ultimate confidence, Clark Kellogg told me this one time, I had the privilege to coach both his boys, Nick and Alex, and he said, John, the ultimate confidence that a player is able to grab a hold of really comes from how they play in the games.
You're right.
And so now those two have evidence. It's not just faith now. They've had evidence and proof that they can play at a really high level. And I think certainly that's, allowed them to take even additional steps.
Exactly. How about our player on the rise? He's going to be key the rest of the season. How about Michael Wynn, 6'6" junior from Albany, New York. Came off the bench the past 2 games, Coach, to make 2 big 3-pointers in wins over Wright State and Buffalo. Also chipped in with 4 assists and 2 steals in those 2 games. And I think he's going to be a key coming off the bench for the rest of the year.
Yeah, I'm so proud of the way he played in the Buffalo game in particular, 21 minutes. I think in the Wright State game he played just under 10. But he's really coming on. He's gotten a lot better, just trying to get some consistency out of him. Michael has some talents. One of them, which is really important on our team because we're trying to throw it inside, is he may be our best post passer. He knows how, he has great feel for that. And obviously the way we're playing now, Joe, that adds tremendous value. And then he's got last Buffalo game 3-0 assist to turn, right?
Yeah.
And he had some what I call hockey assist, like the pass before the actual assist that led to baskets. And so he's doing a good job there. He's been efficient offensively. He's starting to understand the system offensively better. We need him to continue to grow on the defensive end. He had a big steal in the Buffalo game, couple big rebounds. Needs to continue to evolve there. That's going to allow him to get better and certainly impact our team.
Congratulations to those two young men. We're going to take a break, come back with hopefully the upcoming schedule for the Zips right after this.
Even if this is the three-point line, and this is the hoop, if this is home ice, and this is sticking the landing, kids will find a way to keep playing the sports they love, and we'll keep helping them. After an injury, Akron Children's is dedicated to getting your child back to the game as quickly and safely as possible, however they play it. Learn more at akronchildrens.org/sports.
The difference with Wentz Financial Group is that we do not have a cookie cutter answer to any of our clients' needs. Every day is completely different in the market, and every client situation is unique. We value the opportunity and responsibility to manage the hopes and dreams of our 3,000 customers nationwide.
Come see the difference Wentz Financial Group can make for your financial future. Wentz Financial Group. Investment management for your lifetime.
Well, another busy week for the Zips, and hopefully it will be as scheduled because we've got Ohio coming in on Tuesday night. That'll be a 6 o'clock tip-off. Then Akron goes down to Oxford, Ohio to take on the Miami Redhawks Saturday afternoon at 2 o'clock. And, Coach, with all the cancellations, the rescheduling, you open up the conference year with the pre-season favorite Buffalo. Then you take on two of the hottest teams in the league in Ohio and Miami. That's a heck of a challenge, the first three games.
No, they all are, right?
Yeah.
And but you're right. I mean, we play Buffalo, Ohio back-to-back.
Yeah.
Every preseason magazine, every poll picked either one of those two to win the league. First, second, second, first, right? So we got those back-to-back. And then I said the entire time in the offseason, Miami returned a bunch of what I call super seniors, super juniors from the COVID season, added some pieces, and I thought they were going to be really good. And I tell you what, I had a chance to watch them, obviously, pretty in depth because they played Buffalo prior to us playing Buffalo.
Right.
So I watched that game in great detail, and man, are they good.
Yeah.
And then Ohio's terrific. So great week for us, great challenge. You know, we're looking forward to playing certainly one of the two preseason favorites to win the league again on Tuesday. And we got to make sure we're ready. They're terrific offensively. They execute really well. They're extremely confident right now coming off the NCAA tournament, winning a game in the tournament, winning the MAC tournament. They return a lot of pieces. Added Jason Carter back from Xavier. So their front court with Carter and Vanderplas, very unique, Joe, in that they can both play inside and out. They shoot threes at 4 and 5. They can really pass it if you double them. And then Sears has had just a terrific year.
Yeah.
You know, everyone thought they might take a step back. Preston was such a terrific player, obviously, and I have great respect for him. But now Sears has stepped in. He's their leading scorer. He's had big games. They've had great wins. They're sitting right now, I believe, with 2 losses at LSU and at Kentucky, where they really competed in both those cases against 2 top 25 statistical teams in Kentucky and LSU. So it's going to be a great challenge, well coached. Looking forward to that challenge and to getting our guys ready to go.
I know you're concentrating on that 6 o'clock game Tuesday night at home against Ohio, but Miami, as you mentioned, 3 outstanding players, Mekhi Larry, Day Grant, and Delonte Brown. They'll present another unique challenge Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, from what I saw watching them play Buffalo, there's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
And they're older, and they've played together for a while now. Their chemistry's really good watching them play. They execute. When you run the same stuff year after year after year, you get better at it. And I think they're pretty good on the defensive end as well, and Jack does a great job with them. You know, it's going to be a big-time challenge. You know, we want to try to get our fans out here Tuesday night for the Ohio game. And as Joe, you just said, reminding them that it is 6 o'clock, not 7. It's a 6 o'clock tip. And, you know, we were looking forward to getting Zips Nation back in there. And I'm thankful for those that came on January 1st on New Year's, you know, day on a holiday. The game didn't get scheduled till 2 to 3 days before that. We had some students there. So I do want to say thank you to Zips Nation, and in particular our students, for coming out on New Year's Day to watch us. We appreciate them making a difference.
Exactly. Coach, congratulations on the winning streak. We'll see you back here next week. For head coach John Groce, I'm Joe Dunn. And always remember, go Zips.
Wentz Financial Group presents Zips Basketball Weekly with John Groce. Investment management for your lifetime. Brought to you by Akron Children's Hospital, and Bryant Heating and Cooling. Thanks for watching, and go Zips!
This has been a presentation from Learfield,